Hello, welcome back to Oliver's greenhouse. Sorry about that. That was me carrying, I don't know, 100 litres of RO water into the greenhouse. It was that time of the week when I sort of end up, depending on the weather, filling the reservoirs for the Mist King misting system. So about once a week usually. If it's really hot weather, it can be as little as once every 4 days. So that's what I was lugging. I hate picking those things up, they're so heavy. What I'd really like is to install an RO unit in the greenhouse so I could just turn it on and fill it up, but I just have no money for that at the moment. So well, that's not going to be happening. Anyway, so I've been away for a little while. I haven't been away. I've just been so busy, I haven't had time to make any content. I've got a couple of videos up on my Patreon, and that's pretty much it really. So I haven't had a chance to stick anything on YouTube. So I thought, as I've got a little bit of light tonight would be the night. So let's do it. We're going to have a look at tiny little Gomesa radicans. It looks lovely at the moment. We're also going to be having a look at the last vestiges of Dendrobium dicyoides. Because that also looks really, really nice. And also, more importantly, we're going to be doing an update on the growing orchid on a rock, the Dendrobium speciosum compactum, which I grew on the piece of lava rock, and you'll be glad to hear it's still growing on the piece of lava rock. So I'll grab a few bits and we'll have a little look right now. Okay, so most of you will be familiar with this little Gomesa. I've had it for flipping ages now, and it's growing in one of the DIY terracotta orchid pots. It stays nice and moist in there, in sort of like, I think it was medium grade orchid bark. There's a little bit of growth stone I can see. I've just been keeping it really, really moist this year, and it is rewarding me with a plethora of flower spikes. It's going to be absolutely smothered. Everywhere we look on this thing, there is just new flower spikes, even a few flowers opening over the back just there, centre of shot. So I'm really, really happy with that. It's definitely going to be its best ever season for flowering. It looks absolutely fantastic. Great little orchid, super easy to grow. I suggest you get one of these. They're fun. And that sits over the back here, right in the corner. And look at those flower spikes. This is Psychopsis mariposa, and they just go up and 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 up. And they still haven't produced a bud. They just grow enormously in length. And then there's the thing that looks like a bud, but then it just grows into another segment. I don't know how tall these things are going to be, but they're going to be very tall because they're still growing. It's kind of irritating. I'd like them to bloom now. Another super cool little miniature orchid. I love it. It grows a bit like a dikea. That's the name, dicyoides. It's Dendrobium dicyoides, and every year since I stopped trying to kill it, it started to produce really, really fantastic, vibrant pink flowers, pinky purple, and it's just so much happier now. Well, I was giving it basically far too much light, and it was cooking it, and it was a bit reddish. I mean, you can even see on some of the leaves up here, there's sort of that sort of darker sort of magenta. And that is the indicator it's getting a little bit too much light up there. So I moved it, and then ever since then it just comes out with these fantastic little pink flowers. They're really very beautiful. It's a lovely little orchid. Really like it. I like things that grow like this. This is my bag. So things that look like they're prehistoric. Really interested in. And so yeah, those are the two orchids which are doing anything interesting at the moment. Over the back, my Pleuritalis megalops is putting out some new flowers. They're not, well, flower spikes, they're not ready yet, but as soon as they are, I will be showing you guys those fantastic blooms again, because they're really, really dainty, but very, very interesting. So over the other side, whoa, there it is, the pink horrendousness is up, because we've had a significant weather change. It has gone, I'm going to lift the cable over you, it's gone from like regularly 25, 26 degrees centigrade to like, I don't know, like 9 or 10 degrees a night. We've basically gone summer, boom, autumn, like that. There was no significant change, no easing in gently. It was just like that, bang, autumn. So as a result, it's been some really, really sort of like drear and dark days. And I'm not ready for the Nepenthes to sort of like have to put up with a shorter day length yet. So I've put that light on in the meantime, and they're all like, it's really purple, but they seem to like it, so that's good. And over in the corner here, next to my other Dendrobium speciosum, which I have noticed has on one of the growths, I think it was this year's growth, it's got one of those eyes, so like where the growth terminates. And I'll just show you, it's just going to be easier. We'll get round to the Orchid on a Rock update very shortly, but I'll show you what I mean, because I've had this thing for flipping ages and it's never bloomed for me, and it really gets on my tits. But this year I think, or next year, I think it might bloom. I'll bring it up to the camera and I'll see if I can show you. Okay, right, I'm going to zoom you right in first of all, because it's not going to be easy. This thing weighs a ton. Okay, here we go. Hold on to your pants. So down in there, centre of shot by my finger, just there, there is an eye, or like a weird swelling, which is not visible on any of the other blooms. Okay. Now I've seen one of these in flower before. They've got one where I work, and it blooms reasonably reliably every year. And what I noticed was the flower spikes seem to emerge from those weird little like blister-shaped things on the last year's or previous canes. So I actually have some hope that it's going to bloom this year, because that would be really good. It's not like I've been waiting long, and I've had it like, I don't know, like 7 years or something like that. I don't know, flipping ages, probably longer. But over next to it we have the orchids growing on a rock. Let's get in there and have a look at it close up. Excellent camera work. Yes, nailing it. Right, let's have a look. Here it is. So if you remember, this featured in a video. I got this as a tiny little division from a plant that was at work. And when I first got it, it was just these 3 little growths here. And then since then, it did some growing. So it grew this fella here, and it grew lots of roots, which is really, really good. And those roots, it needs water actually, it's a bit dry. Those roots have started to bury themselves down in this piece of lava or pumice stone, or whatever it is, lava stone. As you can see, a lot of these roots have actually started disappearing into the actual rock. So they found little cracks and crevices, and they're just drilling their way down into the pumice lava rock. And further down as well, where obviously it's slightly moister at the moment, I've got mosses starting to grow here as well. So they obviously like the minerals, and you know, they like it as a growing media, because it obviously stays moist enough. What it looks like underneath. No, kind of the same. I actually just roughed that off with a file just to make it sit flat. Worked quite well. So yeah, it's doing really, really well. In fact, I don't think any of this would have been necessary. I don't think I would have bothered putting any sphagnum on it. I just don't think it's... I think it would have grown quite happily without it. But it has, and as the name suggests, it is considerably more compact than its big brother next to it there. So there's both the Dendrobium speciosum and a blue extension lead in the same shot there. So you can see this is a mature growth, and this is a semi-mature growth. But from the plant which came, they generally don't actually get much bigger than that. So I think that's quite exciting. So yeah, a success. It didn't die, and it's growing really, really well. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me. I'm sorry the uploads haven't been coming quite as frequently as they used to. I always try and get one up, usually on a Friday, one a week, because that's actually, I can still manage that along with everything else that goes on in my life. So thanks for bearing with me. There will be some more stuff coming up quite soon, but I am busy. I've got to give my sister away. My little sister's getting married, and I'm walking her down the aisle. So I'm going to be sort of tied up and rather busy over the next sort of the rest of this week. So this video should be up on Friday, by which point, so tomorrow I'll be walking my sister down the aisle. So I'm going to go and have my hair smartened up by a professional dread hairdresser, and if I get any good photos, which I should do, I'll put some in the next video, so you can look forward to that. And I'll see you all again soon on another episode of Oliver's Greenhouse. Thanks for watching.